This is going to be a controversial video, but please give me the respect of watching the entire video before downvoting or leaving a negative comment. This issue is going to take some time to unpack, and I don't want my position to be misunderstood. I was listening to a debate regarding the whole married and MGTOW thing on Psychological Cynic's channel, link in the description. Specifically at the 3-minute and 16-second mark, a guy named DT from the Black Brigade said something that got me thinking. He mentioned that he was already married when he swallowed the red pill, and that he was told that he had to divorce his wife to quote get his balls back unquote. Or he could call himself something like a father going his own way, or a father and husband going his own way, FGTOW or FAGTOW respectively. I've also heard terms like MGTOW sympathizer and MGTOW supporter used previously. Sandman also did a few videos on supposed FGTOW or fathers going their own way, which I'll link to in the description. I don't think the distinctions need to be made between single men and single men with children. After all, I know Sandman himself is looking into surrogacy in order to have a child. And I've seen videos related to how the artificial womb will benefit MGTOW, and I've mentioned this myself. When a MGTOW uses these services to have a child or create a clone of himself, will they become a FGTOW instead of a MGTOW? What about divorced men with children? What about single men with pets? It seems superfluous to have all these distinctions within the MGTOW community. I think as long as a man rejects gynocentrism, especially traditionalism in general and marriage specifically, which are the cornerstones of gynocentrism, they are a man going his own way. Whether they have children, pets, or whatever. However, DT brought up a category that I have not previously thought about before, and that is men who swallow the red pill who are already married. Many men swallow the red pill only after a divorce, when they discover the true nature of women on full display in divorce and family court. However, what about the men that stumble across MGTOW content on YouTube or elsewhere, discover the truth about female nature, but have not yet experienced a divorce? Many MGTOW would say that they should divorce their wife regardless of the consequences or flee the country. However, these supposed solutions are not realistic, but they seem to be the prevailing opinion within the community. Let me explain why it's not realistic for a man to simply divorce his wife after swallowing the red pill, especially if he has children. In my video Monkeynomics 101 Marriage, Divorce, and MGTOW, which I'll link to in the cards, just click the icon with a lowercase I in it. I go into how men are made economic wage slaves to their ex-wives who cannot even support a modest standard of living with an average $50,000 per year job. In my original video, I did not figure in the standard deduction, so let me revise the figures a bit from my previous video to demonstrate what would happen if this newly awakened married man divorces his wife, and for this example, let's also say they have 2 children. The man makes the US median income of $50,000 for the sake of simplicity. He's in the 25% tax bracket, but factoring in the standard deduction, his tax liability is $5,718.75 for federal taxes, $2,402.80 for state taxes, $3,100 for Social Security, and $725 for Medicare. His final take-home pay is $38,053.45. Using the same figures for child support from my previous video for 2 children, he would be responsible for $15,600 per year for his 2 children. But his alimony would be a bit higher from my previous video because the man's net income is higher due to the standard deduction, and alimony is 20% of net income. Alimony would be $7,610.69 in this case. We will be using the same standard living expense for a single person at $15,640 a year. This leaves the man with negative $797.24. And while not as bad as the negative $6,000 from my previous video, he's still working a $50,000 job for no money and is a wage slave to his ex-wife. Also, there's something that I did not consider or factor in before, and that is that during the divorce settlement, the judge may require the man to carry his ex-wife and children on his employer's health insurance, in addition to child support. Single health insurance costs an average $6,025 per year, which would usually be covered mostly or entirely by the man's employer. However, family coverage is $16,834, and the employer will only cover the employee's portion, leaving him to cover $10,809 himself. Even if he isn't responsible for his ex-wife's health insurance, so we deduct the $6,025 that the man would still be responsible for, we still have $4,784 to cover the children, which pushes his annual income to negative $5,581.24. If the ex-wife works and has insurance herself and they agree to split the insurance cost, he would only have negative $3,189.24 for the year. So honestly, for the MGTOW out there, telling these men to just divorce their wives and get their balls back, how does making $50,000 a year and taking home between negative $797.24 and negative $5,581.24 per year sound? Because all your money is going to your ex-wife and children. Also keep in mind that you're not going to see your kids anymore. Even if you and your wife are best friends and she allows you to see the kids whenever you want, you're going to be working at least 2 jobs, which means you're not going to have any time to spend with them. Terrence Popp covered this in a video called Deadbeat Dad Dilemma, link in the description. So divorcing your wife to go your own way doesn't mean you're free. Your ex-wife is going to control you and enslave you through the court system. You're going to be working at least 2 jobs to pay her child support and alimony obligations, or she will have you thrown in jail. On top of that, your standard of living is going to be shit because you've gone from whatever 2-story family home you originally lived in to the smallest apartment you can find in order to keep your costs low, because we've already established you're making negative money. On top of that, you're not going to see your kids anymore, and they will probably hate you for the rest of their lives for abandoning them for essentially no reason. Now, I do realize that there are many men in the MGTOW community who have been dragged through the divorce and family court system, and I think they'll back me up and say that this is not a liberating experience. Now, if your wife initiated the divorce, there's nothing you can do. But even after swallowing the red pill, discovering a woman's hypergamous nature, and understanding that she doesn't really love you as a person, but loves what you can do for her as a utility, it still makes more sense to stay with her than to divorce her. Another alternative that I've heard is that a man should flee to another country. That's not a better alternative when you consider how illegal aliens live. Being an illegal alien in a foreign country is an invitation to exploitation. You're paid under the table with no protections. In fact, you can be ripped off after a hard day's work, and if you protest, the person could just have you arrested for being an illegal alien. If you want to immigrate legally and get a visa to work, you have to meet strict requirements, and your wife can probably track you down and have you extradited back to the US for most developed countries. You could live somewhere like Mexico, which doesn't have an international child support agreement with the US, but you'll have to deal with the drug cartels and everything else that comes along with living in Mexico. It's really a matter of the lesser evil. If you swallow the red pill and you're already married, you really have no good options. You're going to be financially supporting your wife whether you stay married to her or not, but at least you'll live in a decent house, see your kids, and have semi-regular sex as you stay with her instead of filing for divorce. So what does this make men who find themselves in this position, but have awakened to the red pill and are following the MGTOW path to the greatest extent possible? Some have said that they should go join the men's rights movement, but what if they're not a traditionalist and they reject gynocentrism? Now, it may seem contradictory to be married and reject traditionalism and gynocentrism, but again, we're talking about men who got married before swallowing the red pill, not people who claim to be MGTOW while advocating for marriage and traditionalism. Nobody who claims to reject gynocentrism should advocate for marriage, or tell people it's okay to get married. However, men who literally wake up after swallowing the red pill and are already married shouldn't just divorce their wives and abandon their families in exchange for being a wage slave without a very good reason, such as if the woman is physically abusive. And if that's the case, the man may actually be able to get custody of his children through the use of hidden cameras. So let me get to the point. I don't think that these married men who swallow the red pill should be forced out of the MGTOW community, or told to just join the men's rights movement. If these men see value in the MGTOW community's focus not on politics and anti-feminism, but on helping men understand human nature, self-improvement, brotherhood, and self-actualization, they should not be driven out or told to call themselves FAGTOW or MGTOW sympathizers. The reason is that this creates a hierarchy which I personally reject. There are no leaders in MGTOW, it's an open community of peers, although some are more prominent than others. Nobody speaks for MGTOW, and consensus is earned through evidence and argument, not rank or status. This is also why I don't subscribe to the whole MGTOW level system, where this person is a level 2 MGTOW, but this person is a level 5 MGTOW. The levels imply higher status, and I prefer to use a base standard and allow everyone else to just express their own concepts of self-actualization beyond that. As long as you reject gynocentrism, including institutions like marriage, you're a man going his own way. Whatever you do beyond that is going to be more of a reflection of your concept of self-actualization than anything else. If you're a single man, you should commit to never getting married, period. However, if you're already married when you swallow the red pill, it doesn't mean you can't reject gynocentrism in marriage while appreciating the reality that staying with your wife is the best available option that you have. All that being said, married men should not call themselves MGTOW, even if they are part of the community. But I think labels like FAGTOW, MGTOW, FIGTOW are needlessly divisive. much like the MGTOW level system. I suggest that men who swallow the red pill while married adopt a more generic label like Red Pill Man. But if that's too generic, rather than to be told to go be an MRA, I have a suggestion for a more dignified label than that of MGTOW sympathizer or MGTOW supporter. AWM, or Awakened While Married. It's not a separate movement or community, it's just an acronym of designation for men who swallow the red pill after marriage. It's easier to say that and more dignified than being called merely a supporter or sympathizer of the community. And we already have so many acronyms, what's one more? So in conclusion, I'm not saying MGTOW can be married or support marriage, as it is fundamentally gynocentric. But I think that support and understanding should be extended towards men who are already married when they discover MGTOW and swallow the red pill. This is a topic that hasn't really been explored as far as I know, so I am interested in your thoughts. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.